Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Production Line with me, Murphy. As you can see, we have got a lot of cars building up, going down this these three little lines here. So this is the biggest reason why I'm thinking that I need to make a massive change to the whole layout of the actual factory. Now, as you can probably remember, we had a massive change around last time, where we introduced this system so that we can actually potentially put multiple lines in to try and improve the flow through of equipment being built. And one thing that I noticed at the time was basically this little slot here fitting the rear axles was coming up constantly, and I mean constantly, insufficient resources. Now, the problem was, and I've been in touch with the developer as well on it, you've got on here, you require one axle. Now at the moment the game breaks it down as a single axle. It doesn't break it down as a single axle. It is manufacturing, or these things here are manufacturing two axles, the front and the rear. But with these, so we'll see where we can see it. Yeah, you can. There you go. You can see two actually on the. If you can actually see that one there, there's two axles and it's only fitting one. So we are being charged. If we go to the actual cost, oops, go to the components, axle. There we go. We've got 20 on total in stock. We're being charged $337, or the value is $337. So that's going to be rectified in the future. So what I'm going to do, because I only really need, I put loads of these in just to try and actually maintain enough stock. So instead of getting this insufficient stocks, I wanted this to be full. I wanted it to be full. I didn't want there to be any gaps, because once I knew that was at that stage, I knew that we would be able to start extending down the line to ensure that each of these operations are running a lot smoother. So that's where I got up to. I thought while I was messing around with that, I'd keep an eye on how sales were going. We were not doing too great at the moment. We've got less than £1 million in the bank. We've got 80 cars in stock. I put in all the export agent, all the export tiles or systems, so that we can actually work out exactly where everything needs to be. Now, probably I don't need all these, so I'm going to take them all out, but I just wanted to give myself a guide of where everything was, and this is a lot of money that is costing me, probably, to have those in place. Where are you? So I've gone all the way down here and round as well. And we'll take that one out as well. So that'll be the last car that comes here. Nope, just a few cars coming through, so that's fine. Okay, but we'll leave that as it is. So what are we doing at the moment? Well, we were doing 29 cars an hour not long ago when I was doing the testing, so not great. So we need to really ramp this up. We don't really have the cash anymore to do what I wanted to do straight away, which was to rip all the gubbins this out to relay it all out. So I'm going to do some, yeah, I'm going to reduce all the prices. We knocked it up to 30% when we're trying to get some cash back. Now, last thing I want to do is actually take out another loan to manage this. I'd rather be able to do it off my own back. So let's just reduce all of these. That's gone 25, that's gone 25. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so we're still hitting every single market, which is great. Hopefully we'll start selling more cars and we'll get some more money back in. Now at the moment, what is going on? We are income's kind of dropped significantly in the last few days. Expenses, well, actually that's dropped off. I say last few days, it's hours, isn't it? So each of those is roughly an hour. So Okay, so that's dropped off. That's possibly because of selling off those export points. So we're making, at the moment, we're losing 8,000 every 12 hours, 24 hours, which is not good. We're nearly there with our research. Let's have a look where we're at. So 89%, and how much do these cost us to actually run? Research. So that costs us 84,000, and it's got a cost of 102 power demands and 6 employees. So shame you can't sack the employees and recuperate some costs. Okay. Right, we are starting to hemorrhage, I'd say. We need to start getting these cars off and stop building up so much stock. It's probably because we've got so many lined up in here. So I'm going to put a brake in here for a bit. Let's pop it there. So none of these will go through. At least these will get a chance to build up, and we can go from there. Actually, I'm going to put in, while I'm thinking about it, a couple of storage things for stockpiles, just for axles. And it's going to be a case of I'm going to want these local only full. Copy. Okay, and we'll do the same for that one. Local only. And add item, axles, only local. Alright, I missed that one. So automatically jumped in on its own. Right, so that will just start stockpiling up the axles for these 4 points, and hopefully we will stop producing too many cars and having too much value on the actual line. I mean, let's have a look what we got. Prices, imports. I mean, look at that, component purchase prices. That is expensive. Right, okay. And we are still 10 days away. We owe just over £250,000. And I don't want to take out any more loans. Right, so that's going to stop, as I said. That's going to allow all this lot to work its way through. And hopefully that will also help sell some of those cars by reducing it. So what I'd say is bear with us for a few moments, and we'll get some more cash and see where we go from there. Okay guys, so we've after stopping the production, this is the last trail of cars coming through. We've got 140 odd built, and the reason why we kept running out of money was all our money was tied up in cars. So what I thought I'd do is just have potentially one of these slots running for the short term, just while we're trying to get things running. So I'm going to do this and take out that one, just so we've got a little bit of cars coming through. We can see how much difference a single operation does and how quickly these come through, because you can actually see them fly through the areas now. And having it coming through on one of these, it should pick up absolutely every other car. So I'm hoping that we can go through this whole section without having too many delays with the single car, because it's got a long way to go. That's a 3-lane highway. Right, bear with, and that's okay. I've just spotted something. I've deleted out all these export slots, and a load of cars got themselves stuck. So they can now work their way through, and as you can see, these are flying through. So that's quite good. We've got a long way to go on this travelator. No, conveyor. But so let's see. Coming back down to the paint. I'm hoping also that we don't actually have too much of a financial burden by having so many cars in stock. I've whacked the price back up to 30% as well, just so that we can actually get a bit more profit out of the cars. Oh, and over here, last episode, there was a missing radiator notification, and it was just stuck here, and I deleted this and couldn't work it out. As I pulled out the little bug where there was a car still showing there, that's where it was. So saving the game and coming out of it and reloading it sorted out the bug. So, right. Okay, so we've got the cars coming through again. Okay, so what we're doing at the moment. Oops. 3 cars per hour. That's probably those cars working their way out of the export point. Yeah, they've gone now. Alright, so here we go. Okay. So everything's starting to pile up again. The cars have dropped from 140 odd, which is good. I bought a bit more power over here. I noticed that I bought 2 more of these because we were buying so much electricity. Looking at the costs, I thought we need to keep an eye on that for the short term. Alright, so we've already got a backlog here, which is quite interestingly. Just having one line kicking out the second axle, which is quite interesting. And we're already dropped by 1.5 million, and that has got to be down to the components. That's got to be. Waiting for the next vehicle. Wow. Yeah. We'll see what's going on with this. Are we actually hitting? Sorry, are we hitting all the markets? Yeah, we are. We've got 2.5% market share. That was 20% one of the last times I checked. Alright, so there's no delays going through here. And realistically, this isn't a delay. I mean, you've got every so often we're getting a red, and that's waiting for resources. So what resources are you waiting for? So it fits seats. So you're... Haven't I set these? These are sensors. Ah, that's because I've set it to local only. That's why. What for you? Your brakes, local only. Servos, local only. Right, okay. So that makes explain a lot. Because I've set most of these to prefer local rather than to buy them in. Okay. So we've got a lot of stock. Probably about £1.5 million worth of stock on the conveyors. So we need to be able to work our way out of this. How we're doing financially. Right, we're paying £700 an hour in interest on our loan. That's actually quite an interesting loan rate. Last time it was up for about 5 million. It had an interest rate of just over 10%, so you had a capital repayment of 20,000 with the interest rate of hourly interest at 33,000. Quite expensive. We've also finished our research, so I've removed our research stations. Marketing. Do you know what? How much do these guys cost me? In actual fact, I probably don't know exactly. That's 50,000. So we've got we can do marketing campaign, but that's going to cost me a load of money. And I don't see the point at the moment, so I'm going to take these guys out. Only because at the moment I've got could have shown you how many marketing points I had, but it probably wasn't that much for actually doing any campaigns, and it would have basically wiped out our money just to try and sell these cars, and I'm not into that at the moment. I'd rather just run things as cheaply as possible. So we've sold off another maybe what 20 cars off our stock average, and we're up to about another 300,000 on top of that, so that's looking good. So I think we'll leave it as it is on there. This is all working fine, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it running for a couple of days for two reasons. One, to try and get our money up properly without going bankrupt, because if I can get it to about 3 million, I could probably think we can actually set the other line running, and then we can probably afford to have the whole area full of all our assets, as it were, on the actual conveyor belt. So I'll see you again in a moment. Okay guys, for the last number of hours of this game, I have been putting this bit of conveyor belt in just to try and get more cars into the loop. As soon as it hit 1.5 million, I stopped. Now, two things I've been doing as well. I've been looking about what we've been using. So what are our costs associated to this? So looking at this, we are actually making an operating profit. We had losses like nobody's business, and that's kind of what's been going on a lot of the time. And it was down to my grand plan of extending too far too quickly. So we have like a lot of machines, like, okay, this is a little bug in the sense that the developer will actually look at changing how many axles are used on these points here. Let me just put that back in again for a short spell. So that is something that will balance out, and then I can remove some more of these, because at the end of the day it's not costing us a great deal, but it will be adding more cost to us in the long run. So I can live with that for the time being. So what else did I do? Well, basically we've got 2, 2, 2, and then suddenly we went to 4. So I've been watching what's been going on with these fuel tanks, and I've reduced it down to 3. Now, okay, we've got a bit of congestion building up here, but that's only because I've allowed this second axle fitting of the rear axle to be in operation. So that's only catching up slightly for that one. So if it all stops, then do you know what? No matter what I do, it should then just work its way through, because there should be other bottlenecks in the system forcing us to be more productive. So we're up down to 1.5 million already. Oh no, we're back up. Right, let's just keep an eye on that, otherwise I tell you what, let me just remove that for the time being. So I've removed 2 of the fit body shells. So there was one here and one down there. I've also removed 2 of the fit hoods, left the places in situ, so that later on I can just plonk one in. I've removed the 2 here of the fit trunks. I've left the bumpers as they are, because they seem to be getting utilised to a massive degree. I mean, there you go, all 4 are actually in operation, so I've left that one as it was. I've taken out a couple of the fit trims. I've taken out a couple of the front arches. I don't think I've touched... yeah, I have. That's actually, I started over here, didn't I? I've taken out a couple of the fit rear arches and the vents. That's interesting. Okay, so right, that should be... yeah, maybe I need to put in another fit roof in here, because that is a bit of a congestion backlog there. And we could deal with that a little bit quicker. Let's put another one in and see how it works out. Fit body, fit roof. Okay, let's just upgrade this. go. That should start moving the flow a little bit better. Okay, so that's got 3 back in there. Our door panels, I've taken 2 out. I've taken 2 of the fit windows out as well. 2 of the fit wing mirrors, and then it goes into the painting. I also took out this whole section here, so I disconnected there and removed the export points here and the one I put back up there, because that was actually adding to our cost substantially. So we go to sales, values, income, expenses. So we had in here wages for sales at 1.8 thousand an hour. So by removing all that, it saved us $800. Purchasing power, well, do you know what, we hit nearly about $10,000 a month, 10,000 an hour. Do you know what, actually I'd really rather not actually hit anything on there. Let me just because it's only 100,000. Let's pop in a couple of the advanced power units. I mean, 78,000 is not a lot. Let's pop in 2 of those. So that should give us 3,000 watts. So that's 2 of them, and maybe we should put another one in as well. There we go. So we should now not be requiring any power to purchase. It costs us 210,000. However, if we go back to our expenses, it would have cost us, so that's 210,000. Alright, so it would have taken us 35 hours it'll take 35 hours to get the return on investment on those, so it's kind of worth it. So things are moving forward, so we've now got our backlog down here. So let's see about putting another door panel in. Fit doors, fit door panels, yeah. Okay, so let's rotate. Let's just pause that. Let's get this set so it's got everything before it even goes live. There we go. Sufficient resources, that's fine. Alright, so that'll hopefully start out the congestion there. Okay, so we're, oops, I did stop it, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, so we've got 200 cars in stock, so that's quite a lot of cars, but I have seen others who are producing 100 cars plus an hour, and they've got like 4,000 cars, and their money is something ridiculous, like 60 million, and it's a case of, it's mind-boggling how well they've done. So we're on, as I say, we're on day 20, coming up to the end of day 20. We are just about making money. Let's have a look at our actual overall. Right, we're making a loss again. And that's just short of 1,000. Okay. That could be the purchases we've just made that's really affecting that. So let's just see what it's like in another hour or so. As we are. Right, so we lost 240,000, and that was primarily from building. So we're up 22,000 now of that 240. So let's see how the first hour pans out, and hopefully we won't need to reduce manufacturing. If that goes to about 500,000, then I will stop the second point as well. Alright, so they're coming up to the end of the first hour. So we've made 22,000. Okay. We're on for 7,000 now. Okay, component purchase still being the biggest hitter here. Now, we did have more raw materials previously when we had the parts being supplied in-house. So maybe that's what we should actually look at doing, is to try and get a few more in-house manufacturing of parts. What have we got here? We've got fit hood, we've got fit body shell. So we're doing the make fuel tanks. So let's change. So let's put in, so make fuel tanks, we've done that. So go to the body frame, body shell, make body shell. Alright, so let's have a look at this. So we've got 2 million at the moment. Let's make a couple of body shells. Now it needs to come down this sort of line here. So maybe if I just get one of the one there. Or if I pop it that way, yeah, I'm still going to only get fit another one there. I want that connected. Right, so imports, preferred local. For this one as well, and fit body shell. Oops, no. Why are you not giving me the body shell? Okay, so that's probably because that is not being utilised at the moment. Even with 2. Goodbye. Anything to save me a few pennies. So no export room. So we've got loads of body shells here. So let's change this now to imports body shell. Oh, you idiot. Local only. Selected the wrong thing. Body shell, local only. Let's see how this goes. So we've got, this takes 3 minutes 30. A body shell takes 5 minutes. So, yeah, we could probably do with another body shell just to keep up with production. Okay, so we've got 250 cars. We've still got some money in the bank. 500,000 lost this hour. Okay. Hood. Make hood. So that's going to be. Could fit one there. Okay, so I'm going to pop you there. I'll put another one there. How many does that give us? That gives us a hood in 36 seconds. And that's 2. Okay, so do I actually need both of those? I don't think I do actually. I think one might be sufficient for the time being. So let's just make sure that's set to local only. Click off. Okay. Let's see how that does. Alright, we're down to a million. Let's just remove this one. We've got 250 cars at the moment being sold. We've got 25% of the market share. Okay. Alright. That drops to below 500,000. I will have to stop the line. I'd rather not have too much building up. So there's no backlogs here. That's all running smoothly again. Okay. Now if we could just sell those cars, we'd have millions in the bank. Okay, so it looks like this is actually working okay for the current level that we're able to manufacture. Oops, save. One of the other beautiful things is we paid off our loans. We don't have any more loans outstanding, which is wonderful. So we can just keep an eye on this overview now. We need to try and get this up a lot higher. And it's all about utilising this lot. And not building things and then demolishing them. That would be kind of useful. Right, okay, I think we'll call it a day for this episode, primarily because I want to play a lot more off camera, just to get some more money in, so that we can see what happens with these cars, so that we can actually start our next phase, which I was hoping for. But I'm thinking now our next phase will be to rebuild those things that we were building in-house already and get rid of this massive component purchase price, or purchases as, you know, just three-quarters of our cost. So build everything that we can in-house, which is the original plan, and as it keeps changing we'll pick that up. Yeah, so we'll leave it there again, as I say. So until next time, that's Murphy out.